Welcome Strategy Battle Gamers to another GBHL YouTube video. You're here with your host, GBHL Damian.
And GBHL Tom.
And this is episode 5 of the Palantir. Put it on speaker. Hello?
Hello, Damian, it's Emma.
Emma? Why are you ringing from an unknown number?
I'm at the payphone. I'm checking the station.
Oh, okay. You alright?
No, I need you to come pick me up right away, right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll be about 10 minutes.
Is Tom with you?
Tom? Yeah. Yeah, he's here.
Yes, me too. Bye.
Oh, well, that's about. Better go and get it. Well, I can finish this when we get back.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Oh, they fell for it. We did it.
This is it.
We done it.
We cannot let the subscribers down. No. This is our first opportunity to do Palantir, and we've got to get it absolutely nailed on right.
100% spot on.
One chance to do this.
Yep.
Let's go. So, you ready?
Yep.
Ready. We go. Welcome to Strategy Battle Gamers to another GBHL YouTube channel video. You're here with your host, GBHL James.
And GBHL Jamie. And this week we're here for the Palantir. Wait, no, let's try again. Let's try this again. We're going to be here for the Palantir.
I don't think that's right.
No, you went from the bottom. You
Oh,
went to
okay.
start at the top.
Okay, right, let's
Okay,
try it again. Okay, ready? 1, 2,
3.
Welcome to the Palantir.
Palantir.
That must be right. That must be
Yeah,
right. I'm
okay.
sure at this point, don't they do a toast to some
I
bloke?
think they do, yeah. It's tea, but I don't like tea.
Okay, let's to that bloke.
To that guy. Is it Jeremy Smith?
I think so. I think it's
Yeah,
Jeremy Smith.
Jeremy Smith, yeah.
So this is the show where the two of us are going to be in an even discussion, talking about all things of hobbity goodness.
Yeah. What's
So the thing about CrossFit is it's not the most efficient way of getting where you want to be. Like, it's great marketing and everything, but all these Olympic lifts, but doing them for reps for time, it's not the best thing in the world. Much more efficient ways of doing it. So it's really important with your nutrition. It's like two separate journeys, really. The one of them, it's not that difficult, you know. The human body hasn't changed for 10,000 years, but the other one's a little bit more complicated. It's all about the mind, you know. It's all about the way that you think about these things and your habits. Don't you agree, Jamie? Yeah. So it's, you know, it's not that complicated, really, not that hard. You don't really want to do a diet. Diets don't work. So when it comes to weight loss, you know, it's more about nutrition. People think, oh, well, I don't really do enough fitness, but my diet's okay. But really, is your healthy nutrition really actually helping you lose some weight? I mean, a pound of body fat's 3,500 calories, isn't it, Jamie? Yeah, it is. You know, that's a pound of body fat. That's like 7 workouts of 500 calories an hour. Isn't that right, Jamie? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You know, so yeah, like some people are getting the fitness thing completely wrong. Like, they're running around in segways. And speaking of segways, we need to talk about weapon swaps.
Put axes on everything!
Yeah, put axes on everything, and it's a sliding scale, isn't it, Jamie Gibbon?
What, the axes?
Yeah, it's like a sliding scale. What people think, you know, like some people think it's okay, some people don't think it's okay.
What, for the axes? Well, I had a game.
No, we're like proxies, really.
Yeah, I had a game the other day where I saw the player was using models without axes one game, and then on the next game he had axes on his models.
It's a sliding scale.
But is it though? Because really, that's sort of cheating.
It's like
that's tailoring,
a
isn't it?
scale, just like this.
What's this in aid of?
That's the sliding scale.
Don't they do it that way and just keep going? And
No, they definitely do it like this way. Don't you think?
no.
It's really wet. We'll go.
Yeah, let's get going.
Proxies.
Axes.
Proxies.
No axes.
Proxies.
Axes. No, it's axes.
Go. Get back.
Let's go. We gotta go.
Get out,
We
get out,
gotta
get
go.
out, get out. Jamie? Jamie? Jamie?
Oh. You alright, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good. What are you doing?
I was
open the coats.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, we're just about to film a Palantir.
Yeah.
Do you want to get involved?
Do you want to do it?
Yeah, sure.
Be great to have you.
That'd be great. Can I come out?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, thanks.
It's always good to have,
Cheers.
like, you know, if you and James ever wanted to be in it, you're more than welcome.
Oh, cool.
Okay,
Thanks.
should we go?
This way, yeah.
Great.
Okay.
What was that?
Nothing. Just floorboards.
Here we are.
Yeah.
It's a bit hot in there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's violent.
Channel strip show.
Yeah, that's what the subscribers pay for.
Yeah.
Are we good to go?
Yeah.
Welcome, Strategy Battle Gamers, to the GBHL YouTube video. You're here with your host, GBHL Damian,
GBHL Jamie.
And GBHL Tom.
and this is episode 5 of the Palantir.
Wait, it's episode 6, isn't it?
It is it? It is episode 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. And welcome to episode 6 of the Palantir. Yep.
What was that?
It's a Palantir.
No, it's a ball.
Palantir.
It's fit.
It's a ball.
Oh, spit.
From the top.
From the top.
From the top.
So,
Palantir.
It's a ball.
Palantir.
You agreed to this?
You know, watch the video.
No.
So yes, we are delighted to announce that we have a special guest host this week, Jamie Giblin.
This is my first time in the room today.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, we will be doing our normal sit and chat, discussing some of the comments you guys have put up, and some news and some topics.
Yep.
Hoping you have a lot of time to get some painting done.
Yeah, what's the disclaimer, Damian?
The disclaimer, Thomas, is that these are all our own views and opinions and don't represent the views of the channel or the Great British Hobbit League, although I suppose they do represent the views of 3/4 of the channel in this video. But they are just our opinions, so that we are offering, and we could be right and we could be wrong.
Yep. Oh, what are you doing there, Damian? I think it's time.
It's time for David Whittaker's toast.
Yeah.
There we go. That's to you, David Whittaker.
Yeah, and you even get a bonus mug this week and Jamie's cup.
Oh! Boom!
Boom.
Tea smack talk.
Yeah, so...
Still in your probationary period.
We obviously have, as David asked for, the mug breakdown. So,
Ooh.
Jamie, what have you got for us this week?
I've got a Mr. Lazy cup.
Yeah.
Or mug.
It's somewhere between a cup and a mug there.
Yeah. It says that Mr. Lazy lives in Sleepyland, which is a very lazy looking place.
Is that the end of it?
Very lazy and sleepy-like place.
You went up at the end. It was like,
Place.
it kind of implied there was another line.
Well, there isn't.
How are you finding Mr. Lazy Cup?
Yeah, it's shallow.
I myself have brought my Jurassic Park mug. It's a big old mug of tea. This is actually an import from Islands of Adventure in Florida. In the Jurassic Park bit there. Very fond of this mug. Holds a lot of tea. And Tom has got...
Still on the pink hearts.
On the pink hearts, because we don't want to overload you with too many mugs.
Yeah.
What are you playing?
And we
So-
might get onto that mug later.
We might touch upon this later, indeed.
So, what did we talk about last week? We talked about the new posters,
Yes.
which there are now more of.
There are no more of.
Who's out now? Thorin came out.
There's a Thorin one.
Legolas.
There's a Legolas one that says "Aim for Greatness." There's a Tariel.
Yeah, and a bard.
And a bard.
Dirty
Yeah.
looking bard.
Dirty bard.
Let's see this poster.
Yeah, saying the bard then. Well, I mean, that's because you get your news from the Palantir.
Yeah.
Presumably, yeah. Tariel came out today.
Yeah.
Which isn't true anymore because we are recording this early. It's a Sunday.
Yeah.
So we wanted to get guest host Giblin in.
Yeah.
And so she came out today. So as of yet, unfortunately, as we said last week, no trailer yet.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
maybe there's now been most of the main characters. So maybe this week.
Yeah, the fact that we're recording this on Sunday reminds me what we promised in episode 1 of the Palantir, where we said that to prevent people from posting comments such that we ignored them, we'd write in there, yep, we've just filmed the Palantir, don't worry, your comments, if you add any more comments, they'll be missed.
Why haven't you been doing that?
It's your job.
Shirking responsibility.
You're a copy editor. Sure.
So sorry if you put any comments up after Sunday. We're not deliberately ignoring you. We just think Jamie's better than your comments.
Yeah, well,
I think a Palantir with Jamie's better than a Palantir without Jamie. So
Yeah.
I think they'll appreciate that.
hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also talked about the extended edition statues that you got with those extended editions if you bought.
That was only
Specific
available in America and Canada for the Hobbit.
And here is one now as the camera starts moving because it's running out of battery.
It is
It's a
indeed.
good start.
Very sorry about that.
But whilst you're up there, Damian, you can probably show the statue because I'm miles away.
Indeed, here it is. It's the Smeagol from the Two Towers. Very much Smeagol and not Gollum, because there was a companion statue to this that was Gollum. But that was...
It's the same person.
Yeah, but it looked different. He looked all angry.
Okay.
And that was one from the Weta shops that you had to buy, obviously.
And Andrew McCulloch said that you can actually order them from Weta's website.
Yeah, apparently.
So potentially you could get them in the UK.
I didn't know that, so thank you very much, Andrew. I might look into that, because I still don't have the...
Return
Well, I haven't
Cable?
got... No, I don't think he meant them. I don't think
No,
you can still get
no,
them.
he means the
the new
latest ones.
But the Desolation Smaug Unexpected edition, I haven't pre-ordered it, so maybe. I'll maybe get it from there.
Yeah. We also talked about our predictions for the Battle of Five Armies, what was going to happen. And we then discussed quite at length and maybe a bit randomly magic in the game.
We did. Based on... Was it Ian Marley's question?
Yes.
Someone's
I think so.
question.
Yeah. And there's been a lot of comments on that. We're not going to go into everyone's points on which spells they thought we missed or which were best, or which wizards they thought were best as well. But thanks for the comments; they were really good. And we actually think that the kind of questions that you were asking us are more suited to Speak Friend than Question.
Yeah, some of them were very, very specific, which would be...
Such as like which wizard is the best points value.
Yeah, most cost-effective and stuff. And whilst we would like to respond to your comments and stuff... we
Better
don't-
to ask it on Speak Friend in Question.
Yeah.
Gives them something to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Keeps the show separate and keeps them slightly different, and we'll
Yeah.
try and expand on some of the bigger points.
Yeah.
But, Jamie, can Magic win games?
Yes, it can.
It's pretty
Very
much,
much so.
It's pretty much what we said.
Yeah.
And that would be your answer in Speak Friend and Question.
Yeah. Here on the Palantir, we perused the topic for some time.
Yeah. So yeah, that was what we talked about last week. Some of the other comments that we got. Jeremy Smith actually asked, "What are the posters that you see behind you?" So you obviously see these every week, and
can still see them both. Yeah, this
Yeah,
week,
just
and I removed the camera.
them both. There is actually one out of shot as well.
There is. But I'm not going to move the camera.
Okay. Would you like to display them, Damien?
So,
They are yours.
over here, this one that looks like a wall of text, I know it looks like it's a bit bleached out at the moment, is the entire text of The Hobbit on a print. It's tiny, tiny font. It looks like it might be somewhere in the region of 3 or 4 point font, and it's the entire Hobbit book in text, and the holes you can see in it. I think you can see in it. I might, I'll take a photo, shall I? It's a bit
You wanna
of
edit it?
yeah, I'll take a photo and put it over the top about now, so you can have a look at it. But you can hopefully see a kind of white The Hobbit and a white Smaug at the bottom, and they are gaps in the text, so it's not painted white. All the black is the text of The Hobbit, which is very, very cool, I think.
Yeah.
And everyone always goes, "What, the whole book?" I was like, "Yeah." And they do lots of them. There's a whole series fill up. You can get Pride and Prejudice and Romeo and Juliet, and they're very, very cool.
You can make 3 films out of that.
You can, yeah. And that was bought for me by my dear wife for Christmas last year. And then this one over here is a little collage, which is of when we went to see The Return of the King at the Albert Hall. A group of us went, and you watch the film whilst the London Philharmonic plays the entire score live, and it was absolutely amazing. They do it for a bunch of films. If you ever get a chance to do it, go and see one. And what's actually in it is the programme, which is signed by Howard Shaw, because Howard Shaw was there. The CD of Return of the King, my ticket signed by Howard Shaw, and a picture of me with Howard Shaw that looks like a waxwork.
It does actually.
But it is in fact really me. And then the other picture along there was the group of us that all went. Yeah, so I'll try and put a close one up there as well. But yes, those are the pictures that are behind us.
Yeah.
And Lord of the Rings, and we hope they add some flavour.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah. So, because we talked about extended edition and bonus content and audio commentaries, Larry Miller posted a comment saying, "Were we going to give an extended version of the Palantir?" with an audio commentary, presumably from Jamie and James.
Yeah, because our commentary would be the Palantir.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this is our commentary. Surely. What do you think, Jamie? Would you like a extended version of this long show?
Maybe.
It's like,
Like 10 minutes in the beginning, maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, the preamble.
Maybe you could do a commentary. Could you do a non-director's commentary for us?
No, sorry.
I mean, there's not a lot to talk about. Be like, and there's Damian and Tom.
There's Damian and Tom. They've got this wrong.
And they'll be like,
I disagree with them.
that could have been quicker. They should have said Padaxes on it.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah,
just you going, that could have been quicker. That could be done. That could be in the pub by this point. But yeah, thank you very much, Larry. But it's probably unlikely.
Yeah, it takes us long enough to film the thing in the first place, let alone having added bits. Yeah, and Dave Egan also asked us about undercosted warriors or overpriced heroes, whatever. And actually, there is, and yeah, my handy assistant Damian has got something that might interest you.
Indeed, if you are interested in learning what, in our opinion, are the most undercosted warriors, I would direct you towards this article written by this handsome man, which is available for free in the SBG fanzine, which you can download for free now. You hopefully would have just gone up on Friday. You would have hopefully seen our launch video,
Yep.
which contains all the details. And as if by magic, Tom has written a very good article in here, in which he talks about what he thinks are the 10 most undercosted warriors.
Yep.
You've read it, I believe.
Yeah.
What did you agree?
Yes. Yeah. Especially with the top few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were some surprises in there.
Yeah.
Like, I won't say anything. Cut myself short.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
God, if you tell them, then there won't be an incentive for them to download it
Yeah.
for free.
I got it.
But yeah, how did you work that out? Was it gut feeling?
No, I sat for a long time and looked through the books and worked out mathematically.
So there is a kind of rubric behind it.
Yeah, there are rules behind what models should cost. And that's why it's warriors to start with, because that's the easiest to do.
Yeah.
And then he asked about heroes. Any plans?
Potentially.
Huh?
Potentially.
Heroes get trickier because the rules suddenly don't equal
Yeah.
a point each, and
Yeah,
your 3 attacks makes a huge difference compared to 2 attacks.
yeah.
Top of my head, Azog is massively overpriced. Azog and Thrall are hugely
Thrain.
overpriced, and Thrain.
Yeah.
A lot of the Hobbit ones.
Yeah.
And underpriced Rumil.
Rumels.
Some of the elf.
Some of the elf heroes are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Medium heroes, not
Yeah.
like the.
It's the sort of Lothlorien elf heroes.
Yeah.
Oh, and named ring rips.
Like Thranduil, I'd say is quite underpointed
Yeah.
for what he can do.
It's when you compare them to a captain, isn't it?
Mm.
The jump from an elf captain
Yeah.
to one of the
Rumel's
named heroes.
Cheap. As cheap
Yeah.
as an elf captain is.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
And I know the incentive is so that you don't take the captains, but come on now.
Yeah.
And the downside is you can only have one of them.
Yeah.
And that's got to be factored into
Thankfully.
it. Yeah.
Just an army of
3
Rumels.
3 Brumils.
3 Legolas.
Could you imagine? Oh,
But yeah, fell beasts we always say, if they counted as things,
Yeah.
they are underpriced. They're the ones that
Yeah, just off the top
scream
of the
out
head
to me.
without going through every single model.
Yeah, Bolg and Azog definitely.
the named wraiths as well,
Yeah,
which you probably
Yeah, I said
mentioned
that,
last.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think that's what the comment was in reference to, wasn't it? About the named race. Someone thanked us for calling them out.
Yeah.
At one point, which I actually think we return to as one of the topics for later.
Let's hope they watch the show then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course they watched the show.
Just calling them out.
Calling them out.
Yeah.
No, they called out. They thanked us for calling out the wraiths.
I was saying thank you to the wraiths. I was hoping the wraiths watch the show so we can.
Oh, the wraith! Ah, sorry.
Oh,
it's
humans!
good
God,
humour.
this is why I need.
You need.
I need James.
James will just smile benignly
He's
if you
gonna
say
love
something.
Yeah.
You need James. James would have got that.
James wouldn't have got that, but he might not have.
He'd have gone with
questioned
it.
Yeah. It just flowed.
Yeah. Do you think the raves? watch the show? Now we're on
They've
board.
been banished, haven't they?
Yeah. This is set in the 4th age, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know where this was.
Set in the thought.
So there are no more ring roads. The Eagles got them.
We are going off topic.
I love it.
Sorry.
Ian Marley says there's no such thing as a long video.
So, movie news. That's what we talk about on this show. Have there been any other than the posters?
No.
Okay, move on. There has
That was
been
a Jamie answer.
there has been some news though. Interestingly, in the last day
Or two.
or two,
Is this about the
it's about the shops.
shops?
Oh, the shops, we're on to that.
Yeah,
Shops, yeah.
not movie news.
Indeed, big
So
news.
big news from Games Workshop.
They did a Palantir. Big news from Games Workshop.
You learn it.
He's
They
just
got it.
practicing.
Can I
practicing.
say, I was really utterly disappointed that despite planning to, despite planning to,
Oh, yeah.
over the course of yesterday's tournament, I took Saruman,
Oh yeah.
and in all 5 games, not once did I say the Palantir when I used the Palantir. I was like, I missed a trick. That's free
Wasted.
advertising.
Yeah.
sorry, Joe. I wasn't doing my bit for the channel.
So Games Workshop have rebranded 3 of their stores. I guess Edinburgh. What's the close one? Chiswick.
Chiswick.
Chiswick. It's so fancy places now. So sorry.
You can't go on a bus without cat.
Bath.
Yeah,
And Bath, yeah.
Yeah.
Bath.
Bath.
Definitely that.
Bath.
Oh, the GW Bath. Okay.
Yeah, interesting. And they've been rebranded to just Warhammer.
Yeah.
Reason being, when asked on the Bath whatever Facebook group, was that they are well known as the Warhammer store. So why not embrace it rather than try to be something that is confusing to people on the high street?
So that was actually from
The Facebook.
so that's
Yeah.
the company line.
That's what we've read from Bell of Lost Souls and who else? The Beast of War. I've had that commented.
Well, this is huge.
But
Yeah.
Jay Livingston is it him on the thread on the Facebook group?
Yes,
Who's
he
from
posted
GW
something,
Bath?
didn't he? Oh, was it?
Oh, the one that you met.
Yeah.
Yeah, was that Bath? Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
So I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously big news that they're calling them, sort of testing the waters essentially for calling themselves Warhammer.
It looks really weird, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a.
Seeing it.
Would you be able to edit a picture in, do you reckon?
Well, I can't disappoint them now, can I?
Yeah.
It'll
So-
be coming up
Now. It's 3 pictures.
Yeah.
Write this down for me there. 3 pictures, I think.
So as you can hopefully see, the this won't work if there's no picture. As you can hopefully see,
It's a shot
the,
with Warhammer at the top. Use your imagination.
it's just a black logo with
Yeah.
the white Warhammer, which looks quite stylized. Like
It does.
it's a move away from the sort of
Yeah.
80s Games Workshop style logo.
And I know this is always, everyone's always, I fear change, but I like the 80s style Games Workshop logo. And the other thing for me is it doesn't sound like a shop.
Warhammer.
Yeah.
Like it should be W.H. Smith's or Debenhams. I'm just trying to think, like H&M.
Yeah.
They sound like,
Well,
I
at
know
least
they are
GW
shops.
Warhammer.
Yeah.
but like, and Games Workshop obviously has a shop in it. But, I don't know, do you know what I mean? It doesn't, it looks odd.
Yeah.
And it's very, very strange that they're testing it.
Yeah.
I think that why do it in 3 stores? Like how? I mean, I'm sure they've got some sort of
Reasoning for those
marketing
3.
agency in or something. But how do you do that? What are they then doing questionnaires around those 3 cities saying?
Maybe questionnaires, or they'll see what the spends change like in those stores, what the intro games are like, how many of them they get differently a week, how many just people coming out asking the question for the staff, what's the Warhammer?
Could work the other way.
Yeah,
That people get put off by it being called Warhammer.
I think the fact it's got war
Yeah.
in the first
Exactly. It's got
is
war.
is an off-putting thing for
So
some
Games
people.
Workshop does have war.
Games
War in.
War. Games Workshop sounds quite fun.
letters.
Yeah,
No.
it's a different word.
The gag didn't
The
work.
gag fell harder than the raves.
I think you're being spectacularly generous with the word gag, if I'm honest.
So it's the big worry for sort of our system, I guess, is why would they call it Warhammer when it's Warhammer Fantasy, Warhammer 40k, and Lord of the Rings strategy battle game?
Yes.
Like,
Or the Hobbit strategy.
Or the Hobbit strategy battle game. Is there a place for our system in these new stores?
I mean, I don't think it necessarily means that they're shutting down
The Hobbit.
the Hobbit line
Yeah.
at all. I think they're just thinking about how do we sell more Warhammer.
Bear in mind, they've rebranded at least one of their magazines to Warhammer Visions.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and that's had SBG models in it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the shop Warhammer, and then a publication. I mean, that could be it, because that Warhammer Visions, unlike White Dwarf Weekly, is still available in Tesco and
right,
Smiths.
okay.
So maybe if you've seen the Warhammer shop, you might pick up the magazine, and vice versa. Maybe
Yeah.
you see
they're
Warhammer
late.
Visions,
Yeah.
and it just keeps putting that word out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not being funny, but Warhammer Visions is not worth the money.
No,
How much is it? I've never actually seen
About
one.
£7.
£7 for just pictures. There's no real text.
Oh
it's just.
yeah, I've watched.
I mean, the pictures in there are great, but why? I don't know
Well,
why
no,
you get a magazine with just pictures.
I remember watching a breakdown video of when it was first released, and a lot of the pictures apparently were repeated in that.
They're
They were
just like
zoomed in
zoomed in
versions,
versions.
yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
yeah, that's not what we're talking
but
about.
that's a potential thing.
Yeah, that's
possibly.
not a bad point.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't think it'll have the slightest bit of difference on, because Games Workshop doesn't have Hobbit SBG in the name.
No.
Yeah.
Granted, Warhammer now, the word Warhammer does cover the other two games and excludes SBG.
And yeah, do you think that means that they won't do specialist games again in the future if they're just calling themselves Warhammer?
Well, they released Space Hulk, and that was this decision was clearly made before Space Hulk came out, and I think they'd still do that sort of thing again.
Yeah.
The way they did Dreadfleet and they did Space Hulk. But someone made a point on one of the threads, didn't they, that why can we sell Games Workshop when you only sell 2 games? Like 3 at the moment. And I can kind of see that. Like, it was, when it started, there were far more games. You know, in the 80s and 90s, there were just a huge, vast array of games. And now they've tightened and tightened and tightened.
Yeah. I guess from the branding point of view, if everything is Warhammer, as you say, you get the word out. You got Warhammer World. It's not called, you don't know it as Games Workshop. Warhammer World.
That's a good point. Warhammer Fest.
Warhammer Fest, yeah.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. Well, this is all making perfect sense with the
It's the
pieces are
shop.
clicking together.
Yeah.
It's the shop fest, isn't it? It's the store fest. It's not that, because it sounded to me like Fantasy Fest.
Yeah.
Which is a different convention. But you know, it sounds like, well, what about 40k?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When in fact, if it's a reference to what they're calling their shop.
Yeah.
But it's just another odd thing that, because GW is so unique really in the marketplace, but
Yeah.
to have a company with a shop that isn't called the company's name,
Mm.
that's weird.
Mm.
Like, you have Apple and you have the Apple Store and the
Yeah.
Sony shop. It's weird that you have Games Workshop and then a shop on the high street called Warhammer.
Yeah, it is weird.
I suppose it could distance itself from any negative views it's got of being Games Workshop's that place where nerds go hang out.
Yeah, but it's called Warhammer. I don't think that's
Yeah.
gonna change. The only thing, the way they could change it is if they made it look like an Apple shop inside and had it all bright white.
And then covered in nerds.
Yeah.
But I think there's actually, I know my cousin who's he started playing like 40k when he was maybe 9 or 10, and a lot of kids at his school did it in an after school club.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there has been a bit of a change. I think there's still a lot of people who go, that's really nerdy, but I think it's more prevalent. There are more people playing,
Yeah.
and it's slightly more kind of socially acceptable amongst kids
Yeah.
than it was when I was a kid doing it, I think.
Potentially.
Well, I got speaking to people at work about it because they were asking what I was doing at the weekends, and I've just started to become honest with them all. And a lot of them were saying that as a kid they used to do it and stopped playing because their friends stopped playing, but they would have been interested and would have wanted to continue it.
There's an
Like
awful
their
lot.
friends have
Because I've been outing myself gradually
Yeah.
through things like this, and the amount of people that say, oh, I used to do that when I was a kid, is huge. I told one of my students about it the other day, just in a dissertation meeting, because I was telling them about the magazine, and he was like, yeah, I used to do that. And there's an awful lot of people. There's very, very rarely at the moment anyone who kind of goes, you loser, right? You know, which I'd hope my students didn't say in the dissertation meeting anyway.
They're just saying it behind your back.
Yeah, they've been doing that for years. But that ship has long since sailed. But yeah, so maybe I don't know if it's the trying to get away from GW. It's just strange.
Yeah.
Someone said there's the comment as well. The interesting thing about what it means for our game. Everyone said this about White Dwarf Weekly as well. When that came out, it says on the front Warhammer and Warhammer 40,000,
Yeah.
and everyone's like, so they're not going to have SBG in it, and they have. They haven't had a lot by any means, but when the models came out, they've covered it. So not mentioning it doesn't exclude it.
No.
That's more of a branding for SBG, well, for The Hobbit, being tied to strict on it.
Yeah, because actually, and you know, I'm not privy to any of the details of the licensing arrangement, but I know on the one, I think it was the Gundabad month, they've got that nice stylised White Dwarf Warhammer 40,000 sit-down miniatures, and stamped on the front was The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey strategy battle game, the logo, as if like they literally couldn't type The Hobbit strategy battle gaming on the cover because part of it is you have to use the logo.
Yeah.
So they're only going to put the logo on when they send the models. Maybe it might be something like that. But there was the question. Someone said, why would they promote it when it's dead? As in, you know, as Warhammer the shop.
Okay.
And is it dead?
Well, potentially, I'm stealing your thunder here, but potentially to Games Workshop, the system will be in a few years once they've milked it after the films. But we've got the indie scene is growing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Games Workshop killing off the game, if we're using the dead analogy, doesn't mean that the game itself will go out. And we talked about this last time with Blood Bowl. Was it last time? Or 2 times ago?
2 times
ago.
Some time ago. I don't think
Sometimes ago.
Yeah, with the thriving Blood Bowl scene.
Yeah.
But there is a difference that people go, it's dead. Because it's not dead, everyone's playing in tournaments, and they're not mutually exclusive. Like you can, and dead's a horrible word to, you know, kind of, it's really negative. That's how we got him in. Promise of celebrations. And
you all dived in, didn't you? As soon as it was over.
I'm not being left out. And so maybe not dead, but you know, finished. But to Games Workshop, it could well be. I'm not trying to be negative here, but they might. Their big push for film 3 might be over. So to them, as a business, they're not looking at what's on sale now. They're looking at what's going to be on sale in 2 years. So maybe they're not thinking about it and they're not promoting it. But even if it's not on sale in 2 years, and this is what we said whenever we mention it, that doesn't mean it's dead. If it's kind of dead to them, it can still be thriving in the indie scene. And that's what we all hope.
Yeah, like we said, the only difficulty is to get new players in, buying models. But they'd have to know to specifically search for it via eBay or wherever. You're too busy talking. Too busy.
Yeah, he's too busy talking. That's why I wanted to continue. Yeah.
I'd finished my point though. I was opening it up.
I meant make another one. But I don't think the rebranding has anything to do with our system.
No.
Essentially.
Too small a fish to make that big of a difference.
Yeah, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it's a huge change.
Yeah, and maybe we talk about it in the future if there's more development.
As I start rolling more out, it'd be interesting to see how long they do this for and if it goes back. It's very strange.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think if they were going to rebrand, if I was them, not going to the extreme of Apple, but I would probably take away some of the black inside.
Yeah.
Make it just a bit brighter.
They could do with a re-image.
Yeah.
Like a redesign.
I mean, all the staff wear that blue, don't they? Not. Or sometimes.
No, is it blue?
Or is that the event?
The event team wear yellow.
Oh, yeah,
Store managers wear black.
I
And
think the shop staffers are in blue at the moment.
Yeah.
They used to be in red way back in the day. When I was...
Are they? No, I think they're not all in black now. Because it used to be blue when I was going.
Not black. When I were a teenager playing fantasy and I was tentatively offered a job, it was a red shirt. Which sounded too much like I was going to get killed off and stuff.
Yeah, if I'd blue, and I think they might all be black because it looks smarter.
Maybe.
Because blue, I remember the staff at Games Workshop and Draft Centre used to wear. The guys in Manchester, the few times I've been in there, they don't seem to be in blue.
I don't know. The other thing is, actually, I'm the worst person to ask because GW Twickenham's a one-person store, so the manager wears black and there's no other staff. But yeah, it's interesting. I might pop into because Chiswick's not far from us. Stick my head in and it's odd, you know.
Yeah, no,
I don't
ask about it.
Change scares me. You know, for like 20 years I've been
Change scares you.
Yeah.
Who's in the video?
I'm here before you, and I'll be here after.
Said with chocolate in mouth.
Yeah.
Causing yourself. Yeah, for 20 years I've been walking down high streets, you know, looking for that Games Workshop logo and like going, oh, there's a Games Workshop here, and I know you can do all those things when it's called Warhammer, but it's like when they changed Skull White and Chaos Black, paints I've been using 20 years, and there's that little nostalgic part of me that goes, there's another little bit of the company I grew up on
It's gone.
that isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
But very interesting, I think, and fantastic that they did it, and it came out 2 hours before the Palantir.
2 days.
2 days.
Oh, was it 2 days ago?
Yeah, it wasn't. It's not that fresh.
Oh, sorry. But that sort of thing we love, you know, when news comes out just before we record this. It's very helpful.
Yeah, the poster was only a few hours before last time.
Yeah. So yeah, get involved, let us know what you think.
Yeah, so off news and onto some other topics that we might want to talk about. I think it was Matt Rondeau asked about, when we were talking about different profiles, just which models, like that was it. It was because we talked about the named ring race being kind of maybe too much, and saying which profiles do you not like in Lord of the Rings, I think, and then the flip of that, which have been kind of neglected and should have been upgraded.
So let's deal with the first one first.
Yeah,
Theoden. Oh, sorry.
That's the second
That's
one.
the second part. I thought about the first model that jumps to mind.
You can't just dive into the second part.
I can.
What do you think this is? Speak friendly question?
He'll
Yes.
be here longer than you. He can say what he wants.
He's got a very strict agenda.
Yeah.
You have to deal with each item. You know?
In a certain order. Okay.
Yeah. So why don't you kick it off, because you feel incredibly strongly about this.
I don't.
With a named race.
Yeah, but we're on about the ones which. Wait, I'm lost on where.
His first point was which characters you think shouldn't be there.
Oh, of
Like,
course. Yeah. Yeah, named race.
You don't like the name race
No.
because they're not from the book.
Yeah, and they're just. Well, bar the Witch King, and Camul's it's kind of acceptable.
Sort of mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's mentioned.
Yeah, so it just annoys me when they make stuff up. So the Isengard troll, I don't like.
But conceivably there could be trolls and Isengard.
Yeah. Still
Yeah,
don't like
see,
it.
I don't think they're in the same. I don't think they're in the same
No, it's
category.
not.
Yeah.
But
I
I
think-
still don't like them.
I don't like when they made stuff up to make lists better and for no other reasons. So, for example, I don't particularly like Sons of Ale. They're like a GW creation just to make them better.
They're mentioned by Theoden as when it's in a speech that when the Sons of Ale arrive.
Yeah,
But that's referencing something that's happened in the past.
Yeah.
So yeah.
and things like, and I know I use them, but things like Feral Uruk-hai
Yeah, oh yeah.
are just there to give, you know, Watchers of Karna,
Yeah.
Abracangard, a lot. I don't mind them making stuff up.
Venom Blade.
But it's
Knights.
annoying that they're the best thing.
Yeah,
so
and
you
then-
see them all the
exactly,
time,
yeah.
and you actually want to see things from the film
Yeah,
in
no,
at tournaments, not the
yeah.
made up rubbish.
That's what I mean. That I don't have a problem with them making them up, but they're always the strongest
Like
truth.
It is. Oh, sorry.
I said that the Blackguard of Barad-dûr, having played the game a lot and then reading the books, reading through that, they're mentioned as there were blackguards on top of the wall.
Yeah.
And it's like they suddenly become a strength 5, defense 6 model.
Well, they do that a lot, don't they? A lot of the kind of creations have been. They found little words in the text and turned them into units.
Yeah.
Like, which isn't, you know, a bad idea.
But yeah, I talked to Lily obviously about Lord of the Rings a reasonable amount, and she's very hot on Lord of the Rings knowledge. She'll beat me at the trivia game, but I start talking to her, well, originally about Feral Uruk-hai or Watch the Khan, and she won't have a clue what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because nobody knows what they are if you don't play the game.
Yeah.
Even if you're a very big Lord of the Rings fan.
Warp Marauders.
Oh, yeah.
And it's also, I mean, part of the reason they're always the better troops is because they were the later editions. So for the films back in like 2001 to 4, they made all the stuff you see in the films and they made profiles for them.
Yeah.
So then your Uruk-hai and your Scouts and your Warriors of Minas Tirith were already there.
Yeah.
And so the stuff that they had to bring out that was made up stuff had to be the best stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shamans, I mean, shamans
I
are
don't
not in.
I never liked
Lord of the
shamans
Rings.
to start with. I've used them before, but I don't like them particularly.
I do think that what they do is quite good. Like they do a Tolkien-esque version of magic.
Mm.
Yeah.
That the things they do, like inciting them to be in a rabble and kind of transfix rather than, throwing fireballs around.
I just don't like them being called a shaman though. They could just be like another style of captain.
Yeah. Well, I always imagine Fury is just them rousing the troops into such a frenzy in the name of Sauron, rather than some magical aura.
But they should be like a taskmaster or something like that.
Yeah, they're not meant to be.
A taskmaster would be a good name for them, just spurring them on.
Yeah, taskmaster.
I don't think they're meant to be physically immune to wounds. They're meant to be just so enraged they don't notice them.
Yeah.
But things like that annoy me a bit.
Mm.
The things that are just there, and like you say, when you come up against armies of them,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm quite keen at the moment on the Hobbit releases, because the Hobbit releases hasn't had that second wave of stuff, and everyone's going, there's no range in their troops. Like, no, because they're true to the films.
Mm.
Yeah. You don't have a lot of choice, but that doesn't mean you don't have kind of tactical flexibility, I think.
Yeah.
But so those are the ones.
Yeah.
The name Ring Race in particular I don't like, but
yeah. So who do you think's been neglected other than Théoden?
Théoden has, isn't he? Like he's a very. But he was talking about models. Like, was he talking? I thought he mentioned models rather than profiles. Maybe it might have been both.
Oh, you mean who's been missed out? Because I think Brendan Cooper also asked about who has been left out. Full stop. Doesn't have a profile.
Yes.
So people like Elfhelm for Rohan.
Mm.
There's also Guthlaf, who was Théoden's banner bearer.
He mentioned Gandalf holding Merry and Pippin by the ear. He'd like to see a model of that.
Yeah.
Mm.
So maybe he's also looking at the kind of vignette pieces, like Gimli on Uruk-hai, and those kind of things.
Oh, right, like the Legolas and Gimli on horse, the ones that...
Which I really liked.
Yeah.
They're really nice pieces. It might be nice to see a few more of those for the kind of Hobbit range.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Orc armour, Frodo and Sam. Yeah, barrels out of Bond.
There was an awful lot of models in the Lord of the Rings that were there to collect. So you had different poses to look at different parts of the film.
Yeah.
It was actually, I've said this on something, I think it was before the Palantir, I don't know when it would have been, that it wound me up that, everyone always talks about the breadth of the range of Lord of the Rings and how good it was, and there were 7 models of Frodo, and then when The Hobbit came out, everyone was complaining that there were too many Bilbos. And I didn't really get that, because I liked it as a collecting hobby, being able to go and get these different poses. But yeah, maybe some slightly more non-gamey pieces would be good for The Hobbit.
What would you do? Elrond reading a map?
Yeah, maybe like the dwarfs in spiderwebs might be nice.
Oh yeah, that'd be really cool.
But they were like snapshots.
Dwarfs in sacks.
Mm.
Yeah, dwarfs or the campfire.
Yeah.
Like
Dwarfs
with the dwarfs on it,
yeah.
that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Would be cool. But yeah, just those little things that aren't particularly useful, but they're just the kind of vignettes that would be incredibly hard to make by converting it.
Yeah.
Maybe. And then he said which one. So back to the other question was, what's been neglected?
Yeah. So we said Théoden. Because we're saying which profiles haven't had a AMA style upgrade.
Again, it's all of them, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's pretty much.
I mean, Faramir had his upgrade and then had it snatched
Snatched
from him.
so unfairly away.
Yeah, he was
Prince of Ethilion. That was such a good profile for him.
Mm.
A little bit tad on the expensive side.
very few that were stolen away for the source books. He's been very hard done by.
Yeah, maybe they just didn't have enough. It would have bumped over to another line. It's like, oh, get rid.
Could be.
Yeah.
There are crazier things in the world. But yeah, like in terms of profiles, like most of them haven't been updated. Legolas gradually got better and better and better.
Yeah, because he was
Over the
3-2-2 originally, wasn't he?
Was it?
Yeah, he
two-fate.
had 2-fate.
But he also couldn't auto hit.
Yeah.
Like when the game started, and Gimli had less. I think
He didn't
Gimli
have his axes at the dwarves.
he couldn't do
did he?
3 attacks, could he? He just did the 200 weapon without the pen away.
Yeah.
And so they've gradually kind of sneaked up. Lurtz always, people always say he's not as good as he should be.
Gamling's pretty awful.
Gamling's rubbish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For his points, anyway.
Yeah, give him like no no penalty for taking the banner,
Yeah.
and then we can talk. But he's a captain without shield, isn't he?
Yeah.
A lot of the named Rohan captains are captains
Yeah, Harmer's awful.
with a bit of war gear.
Yeah.
Like you could make a better unnamed captain.
Mm. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
You can take an unnamed captain up to defence 7 points.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's the model thing as well. That if you talk, I'm honestly not sure which angle he was coming at.
No,
Model, but you know which models haven't been revisited, and none of them have in large parts. The vast majority of them haven't. You get like things that went plastic, like Uruk Scouts and Donneroth Knights and
Yeah.
Minas Tirith Knights and
Like,
Cataphracts.
Mogul Knights.
Yeah, so a lot of the cavalry in particular went to plastic.
Yeah.
But
Trolls.
Trolls.
Yeah, trolls and plastic. But I quite liked the fact that when I got back into it, there wasn't a new set of Morio goblins. You know,
I would quite like new Mori goblins.
But they've already changed them because they were metal as well, weren't they?
Well,
not originally. Well, they came out together.
You got some metal. You can get metal Mori.
Yeah, but they didn't. They weren't first.
Oh,
They came out alongside each other.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Because they were
the
in
armoured
the,
versions, and they're quite often used for the captain
Mm.
model.
they were in the Fellowship starter. The Morio goblins and the Last Alliance models were the
Mm.
first things you got, like way back when, in simpler times. But yeah, I quite like, not to say the models couldn't do with it, but it was like, oh, so these models that I've had for years are still valid.
Yeah.
It's not like Warhammer where, you know, the army kind of constantly gets
Evolves.
upgraded and they often change base sizes and things like that. I quite like that about the system, that it's, as much as it's developed, everything's still
Compatible.
usable,
Yeah.
largely.
Yeah, Twilight Ring Race. They don't have a profile.
Yeah, but again, the Twilight Ring Race were what we were talking about a minute ago. They were
ones.
released for vignettes and stuff,
Mm.
and like the Paralysed Hobbits.
Yeah.
Paralysed hobbits.
Yeah, 17 times
Yep.
for Pippin. So yeah, there's those. You know, the models not being redone didn't really trouble me because I think the models are by and large very nice. I'd like to see better elf twins. I'd like to see thinner, sexier, you know, more elegant looking elf twins. I still don't think they've nailed either of
You
the
like
styles.
sexier twins?
I like the unarmoured versions of the
Yeah,
elf
the
twins.
unarmoured ones
I think
are
they're
nice.
really cool. I think they're
The
very
flowing
good
capes.
poses. There was a really good shot in the Lord of the Rings One Rule Book to Rule Them All of the two twins with a troll chieftain and two trolls surrounding them. Thought that was really cool shot.
But we talked about this in Speak Friend a Question because I mentioned Tariel. This must have. There's a very similar question.
There's a
from,
question
like,
saying like, what models do you want to see with what profiles do you want to see with a different model attached to it?
Yeah, Tariel's face
Yeah.
bang on about quite a bit.
So those are.
You always bang on about Boromir as well. But I quite
I
like
always
some of
bang
them.
on about it.
Yeah.
I've mentioned it a couple of times. I'd like a Boromir with a sword and shield fighting in the style of the Mines of Moria one, but whatever material it would be now, but better because the Mines of Moria ones are all completely out of scale.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think Boromir of Gondor got relatively badly treated compared to the other Fellowship.
Yeah.
But I suppose
He does
he's
die
only in the
early.
first film.
Yeah.
I say he dies early, he's the only one who dies.
There's still 4 models of him, aren't
They all die eventually, except for
there? They do. It's incredibly depressing.
Fergus, Legolas, and Gimli.
Mm-hmm.
But don't they die?
Yeah.
Isn't that Tom, any models you'd like resculpted?
I'd like a new Galadriel. I think the Fine Cast White Council one of us is quite nice,
Yeah, that is a nice one.
but the one where she's waving goodbye with the left hand is just a bit rubbish, in my opinion. For casting Galadriel, anyway.
Yeah, maybe.
Hopefully we'll see a new scary Galadriel.
I really wanted a pose of Thorin as the warg chase before we meet Azog. It's Yazneg coming towards him and that Gandalf showing them down the little rocky bit. He does a really cool pose with his sword out and the axe.
Yeah,
And I was like,
he's standing like that.
yeah,
That's a model in waiting.
Yeah, that would be a really cool pose. There's a few bits like that in the film where you look at a pose and it's like, would be
Could he then piercing
amazing.
strike?
Always with an axe.
Yeah, he was biding his time. I'm going to sneak in axes.
We talked about him. on Speak for Any Question.
Yeah.
Because we mentioned
What is him in his
in his coat.
big coat?
Yeah, that model. Like, just with the end of Orchrist idea. But yeah, because even Galadriel, she's doing that because that's a moment from the film.
Yeah,
That's the pose. It's a, and you could see that slightly more in some of the, the Bilbo, the old Bilbo. It's a little moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of them are captured in that. And then was it you that says you don't like those ones? You don't like the resting poses?
I prefer action poses to the stationary.
Just the pens and paper.
Well, but then a lot of people don't. The defenders of Rohan.
I see.
People really like, and they're just all static.
Goes really
waiting for the bus box.
Yeah,
for the bus box.
Who is it? It's Éomer, isn't it? It's got his helmet underneath. And so I just think that's a rubbish pose.
Yeah, it's Théoden who does that. And Éomer's just stood there, I think, with his helmet.
Gimli's resting on his axe.
Yeah,
Gimli's good.
Just resting.
No. I don't think so.
Jamie doesn't agree.
That's right.
I disagree.
We're fine with that.
That's why I said it.
It's a discussion show.
Oh.
Yeah. I just don't think they're the heroes that they should be. Like, if they're on the game, in the game, they should be fighting. They're not going to be standing there for the entire time. And that's at least what if you're attacking something, you can visually imagine.
Quite nice for I've got my Battle of Five Armies displayed all over. Quite nice for that, to have them as display pieces. To paint them up and just have around the room, perhaps. But I think the Hobbit's been served quite well. People talk about the minimal range and how badly it's done. And if you actually go onto the Games Workshop site, or the Warhammer site perhaps, and look through, there's so much stuff. They've had loads
of bonus stuff. Column, Bilbo Coracle.
Yeah.
Barrels Out Bond.
Warriors of Dale even. But there's more. I don't know if it's true now with Desolation Smell, but there was more releases for Unexpected Journey than the Fellowship. People might yell at me about this. I think if you went through it, I looked at I remember digging this out ages ago. Yeah, so for Fellowship, they really only released up to about April time. And then I think Sauron came out. And if you look at that list of releases, then comparatively, I think we got more. And it's not to say there's less items for sale, but you had things like the White Council, which was 4 heroes. And before it would have been 4 blisters.
Yeah.
So those sort of things. But you got more range in the Hobbit release than you did for the Fellowship of the Ring.
There is a good range. I've just thought of the one model that always pees me off, why they've not got it. And it's the Witch King. The flail one I really don't like, but they missed an absolute trick. He should have been when he turns around and he's got both out. Yeah. He's got the flail out and he's got his sword out, and he's just looking really menacing. Why didn't they just do that? That would have been really cool. Rather than having it waving.
Yeah. But you get things like as I say, they've done bonus ones. All the White Council are kind of vignettes, aren't they? And the Beorn you get with the bear is nice, and like you say, the Bilbo ones, Bilbo jumping a log, Gandalf and Dol Guldur. I think there is a lot of the second Thranduil, which a lot of people don't like, is meant to be, I think, the moment where he cuts Yazneg's head off almost. Narzog's head. That's that kind of
like the just afterwards.
I think it's meant to be something like that. But and then all the other thing that I think this was on the One Ring ages ago that I was talking about the releases, is that you got when the Moria Goblins came out, you got 12 goblins. You got 4 bows, 4 spears, 12 separate goblins. And then you got a lot of them. You got 18 with the Goblin Town ones. You get 12 different Mirkwood elves.
I was going to say.
Compared to 10. Sorry, of course. Compared to 4 and 4 and 4.
But they're all different poses, which is really nice.
And that that sort of thing. I think. What are the Last Alliance elves? 4 different poses. There's 2 of them.
2 poses.
2, isn't there?
2. One.
There's 2 bows and 2 blades on them.
Oh yeah, they're very slightly different.
Yeah.
I mean,
so 4 different compared
it's like
to 10
Fountain Court. There are 3 different poses, but they're essentially the same.
Yeah, they're not modelled. They're the same dynamic, aren't they?
So yeah, I think the Hobbit range is nice, and I think we've actually done quite well out of it. Azog, I said this in Speak for Any Question.
Oh, the on foot Azog.
Azog with both arms.
Oh yeah.
I think we started changing the question slightly to go back to the speak friendly question about what we want. But there was a few comments about this down there. So sorry for any over.
The Azog with the head, that's what you want as a model. Azog holding Thrall's head.
I've seen a rather nice conversion.
Yeah.
Thanks to Dave Fredericks.
Yeah.
Did just that. Sculpted the extra arm.
Twice.
Yeah.
Once before Azog had come out.
Once rushed.
And once after.
Rushed for a painting
Yeah,
camp.
really sloppy work.
Yeah. Awful.
Embarrassing.
Okay, and final topic comes from Dave Egan, who asked us what we nerd about, other than the Lord of the Rings strategy battle.
Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, other than the world of Middle Earth.
Fair enough.
Damian? Mug?
Mugs?
Your mug?
Oh, my mug, indeed.
Mugs.
Yes.
Oh, good job.
That is probably a pretty fair one for me. I absolutely adore Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park is my favourite film in the world ever. I went to see it at the cinema when I was 10. It blew my mind. You asked.
No, it's really good.
Yeah.
You asked.
I really like
Dave,
it.
you asked.
Yeah.
Am I gonna sneeze through your nerding?
No.
Sneeze? Am I gonna snooze? Well, let's find out, Tom.
That's you.
Yeah, I loved it. It had, I think it was at the right time. A lot of people a bit older than me talk about Star Wars doing this, being that you see it at the right time, at the right age, and it blows your mind. It was the first truly staggering cinema experience I had, and then since then, I as a kid I got loads of the toys, and I got really into it, and got all the games and stuff, and I just grew up watching it and loving it, and went to Florida and just adored the theme parks there, and went to Hawaii on my honeymoon and went to loads of the locations it was filmed in, and I just love it. And I know the film kind of backwards, like the script, and kind of I've read the book a whole bunch of times and still got all my old toys from it, and will quite happily talk to anyone, but chat anyone's ear off about Jurassic
just
Park.
quote it.
Yeah, just quote it. There are quotes about
Probably
Jurassic Park.
every day.
you can fit into everyday life. It's we can learn an awful lot from it because it's a damn good film.
Give us 3 facts about the film people probably won't know.
Oh, on the spot.
Yeah, that's good.
Go on.
3 facts.
You told us some last night.
Why don't you do yours and I'll try and think of 3 exciting facts.
No.
No, alright. 3 facts about the first Jurassic Park film.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg was having a chat with Michael Crichton about potential
You might
products.
not have to explain who Steven Spielberg and Michael Crichton are.
The first one, really? Steven Spielberg is a famous director. He's directed many films, including, amongst others, Jurassic Park.
Thank you.
That's all right. Michael Crichton is an American author who's sadly dead now. And he was obviously the author of Jurassic Park.
Palantir! Palantir explanation! Because that's where it originated from. You were doing the hand movement and it just happened to be around the Palantir and then we made it.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, that's a nice segue.
Yeah. There you go.
Michael Crichton is the author of Jurassic Park. They had a meeting about potential topics. You may be familiar with the TV series ER, which ran for 14 series. And originally it was written by Michael Crichton. Originally it was produced by him. He wrote it as a film, and he was talking to Steven Spielberg about doing this as a film.
Okay.
And they had this lunch, and it didn't really go anywhere. And they're about to kind of leave, and Steven Spielberg said, "Are you working on anything else?" And he said, "I've just started this book about dinosaurs." And they started chatting about it, and apparently Steven Spielberg essentially had the rights and had agreed to do it before it was even written.
It's a good fact.
Yeah?
Wow.
That's good?
That's good.
Like that one?
That's
Okay. 2.
I was thinking more things that happen in the film, like continuity errors.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Alright, fine. How long you got? 2.
You do
There's
3 of them.
a continuity error. When at the start, when the helicopter lands and Grant and Sattler run into the van, and Richard Attenborough, God rest his soul, is inside. As Grant runs into the trailer, he opens the door and the hinges of the door are on the right, and as he runs into the trailer, the hinges are on the left. Because of course the trailer's out somewhere in Montana, and inside is probably a studio set somewhere in Universal, and the door's the wrong way around. There's a continuity reference.
Yeah.
And interesting fact: the Dilophosaurus in the thing, commonly referred to as
The spitting one.
the spitter. Yeah, that's the kind of nickname of it. The spitter. The real dinosaur Dilophosaurus. It's the one that has the frill that goes and spits.
Good impression.
Thank you. I know. The real Dilophosaurus neither spat nor had a frill. Which,
They just made it up.
yeah, they made, well, Michael Crichton made it.
Yeah.
But those things are kind of, they take away its two things really, don't they?
Yeah.
There you go. If you're interested in Jurassic Park, comment below and I'll make you a video.
Jurassic Park.
17 hours with Damian.
It's not a trailer breakdown, it's a film breakdown.
It's a life breakdown.
You could
It's
do
a
it.
mental breakdown.
It's a mental. You could do your own commentary.
On Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it last night.
Yeah.
I think that's worth pointing out that we watched Jurassic Park together last night.
Yeah.
It was a nice bonding exercise. You went to bed. James stayed up for it.
James powered through. Maybe that was the downside of my
You're
tolerance.
making out it was a horrible experience.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
But yeah, that's massively into Lord of the Rings and all that, all the films and everything. But yeah, probably Jurassic Park would be my next one.
Jamie?
Myself, it's probably video gaming. Is the second thing I'm passionate about outside Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that it?
There's no way you're getting away with that after
We need
the
3
cross-examination.
Yeah. There's not much to
What
say.
are your favourites?
Favourites?
Top 3 games. Tell us.
Top 3 games ever.
Yeah.
That's a big question.
Like 3 facts about Jurassic Park, really.
Yeah, well, you should know that. I don't know my top 3 games ever. Games at the moment, it's Link, Shadow and Mordor. Really enjoying that. It's hard on the spot. I'm sorry.
I still think Ocarina of Time.
You know what? I have never played the
Yeah.
Legends of Zelda.
I haven't gamed
Yeah.
professionally in quite a few years. So I'm out of touch with a lot of the more recent ones. But for me, Ocarina of Time was the best game ever made. Followed probably by GoldenEye and Super Mario World on the SNES.
GoldenEye was fantastic.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Final Fantasy VIII.
Hmm.
Yeah. And if I had to pick another one, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't.
How much of your week goes into video gaming?
Video gaming. Recently, not so much since the channel started. Previously, a good 40+ hours probably.
Yeah. I've found that my other, I don't know if the word suffer is right, but my other interests and hobbies have suffered since I got back into this.
Yeah.
Like I was chatting to James about this last night, that I used to be, even a few years ago I was quite into video gaming. I had a Wii. I wasn't I wasn't a serious gamer. Like, I didn't get a PS3 or an Xbox or anything, but I had a Wii and I got Twilight Princess, the New Zelda one.
Yeah.
And I played that through and completed it whenever that was, like 2008.
Mm.
And then I got Skyward Sword as a present, and I never played it. I've not even played it because by that point, anytime I get like an hour free, I'd go and paint something.
Yeah.
And I don't know now when in my life I have the time to sit and play a game, because I'd always rather be making a bit of scenery or we've been working on a magazine or something like that. It always goes in it. And same with guitar. I play the guitar and I haven't played anything. I haven't my guitars, we moved into this house 4 months ago, and my guitars haven't been unpacked since. And that was always my little come in the evening, play on the guitar a bit, and used to play in a bunch of bands, and I haven't. It's almost a bit sad. I really like what I'm doing now and the people I met, but other things have suffered from it.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
And isn't your laptop a specific gaming laptop?
My computer is, it's an
computer,
Alienware PC. I bought my laptop because the PC was getting used a lot for videos, and it would be out of use essentially when it's rendering and uploading.
Yeah.
So I got a laptop to do other things, and my PC, I've spent over $1,000 on it so far to get it to keep it up to scratch.
Okay, so it's just the bits you put together.
Bought it, and then I'll be upgrading it.
Yeah.
It's getting to its point where it's slowly becoming not obsolete, just it's not keeping up.
Is that the processing speed or the graphics card?
Graphics card, sound. It's all good for now, but I give it about a year and I'll need to start upgrading it.
Okay.
Which will cost more money.
Yeah, so I guess that's the difference between when you're doing PC gaming and a console gaming because I guess.
I was never into PC gaming. I know it was always a console for me. I was a Nintendo fanboy.
Yeah. The reason I went into PC gaming is I got really sort of jealous, I guess, of the mods that you can put on games.
Yeah.
So you can have a really good game like Skyrim's a great example. Skyrim's a really great game, but for the PC you can download modifications to it, so mods that lots of people have brought in Lord of the Rings weaponry in there.
Right.
And you can physically alter the game by the community to do certain things or things that you couldn't do previously that you wanted it to do.
But presumably, and then download that as a version of the game.
Download
it doesn't
that,
affect your game.
and you add it in, and you can turn them on and off.
Yeah.
So you can go back to the base, or you can have certain mods on.
Okay, that's good.
And yourself?
I've actually got a good T-shirt on for it. I don't know if you can read this. It says "Geology rocks."
Oh!
What a joke! What a joke. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's something I'm nerd about because it's what I did my degree in, and I do a lot of work with earthquakes.
What do you do? They don't know what you do.
No, they don't know what I do. It's probably going to bore them.
Yeah.
I work for a company that model. Well, I said it was model. I could have said I work for a company that model toy soldiers, but they don't.
I know you're not going to.
I work for a company that model natural disasters to see. Well, it's for
What a horrible company!
Mainly for insurance purposes.
What a horrible company!
So I look at earthquakes, hurricanes, floods, also terrorism, that kind of thing. Yeah. So it's
like likelihood, isn't it? So risk management.
risk management. Looking at how much you'd lose in events or how much you could expect to lose.
So you're trying to work out acts of God, aren't you? Essentially.
No.
No? Okay. Fair enough.
Was that the G word?
Yeah.
The G word.
God.
Is that not allowed in insurance? No?
No.
Because what are they? They're not acts of God, they're
Natural
natural disasters.
no.
But yeah, I don't actually work for an insurance company. It's different. We provide product.
The data for.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they can run the models.
Because
It's computer models.
I don't know if you know this or how well it comes across in nerdy videos about Lord of the Rings, but Tom is proper smart.
It's proper smart.
He's proper smart. And he's right. All that stuff falls away kind of when you get into the workplace, I think.
Mm.
But Tom's he's a proper smart guy. Oh, you're learned. You're a wise man. So is that then a passion?
Less so now, I guess, because I did my degree and Lily still does geology. So I mean, you can have a bit too much chat about something, I guess.
You did some stuff about dinosaurs, didn't you? You did a presentation about dinosaurs.
do some stuff on dinosaurs. Well, have done. Less so. We usually did stuff when we did paleontology. It was a lot about very early life. Nothing big and complicated like a dinosaur. So yeah, I really like Harry Potter. With Lily, we were kind of making. We liked the Lord of the Rings trivia game that we had so much that we were making a Harry Potter trivia game ourselves. Yeah, I went through all the books and made questions on all of them. Had a bank of 1,500 questions that we could make into cards. Wow. Lily had designed the board in Adobe products and all the cards.
I'm very nondescript.
We had a lot of it done, and it kind of froze for a bit because university work and never actually made it. But we were doing it before the final film came out, so we couldn't have pictures of the final film yet.
Yeah.
So Lily had been making stuff up for what we knew was going to come in it.
Yeah.
Was the plan to sell it?
No, the plan was just for us to play it.
That's cool.
That is cool.
So that's what we were doing.
I was just thinking you probably couldn't sell it if you had pictures on it.
No, it was based on the Lord of the Rings trivia game, so the same format of how that game works.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll finish it?
Maybe we bring it up now and then just I don't know. I think I just mentioned the other day that doing the magazine and doing this takes up a lot of time, and then that's another hobby thing on top.
Yeah.
Like you said, things kind of
Something
get pushed aside. Yeah, because I used to play the piano like you play the guitar. I mean, we do have a piano.
I think you used to play the piano better than I play the guitar.
We do have a piano still, but I'm in a terraced house, so I don't particularly like I get home reasonably late and don't really want to play the piano when there are kids next door who I know probably go to bed at.
Isn't it more that the neighbours don't want you to come back home and play piano?
Probably.
Not so much.
They don't want Lord of the Rings tunes banging out at 9:30.
So, in the interest of this segment, can you give us 3 fascinating facts about rocks?
About rocks. Can you name some rocks?
Brighton.
Geodude.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
What types of rock?
Yeah.
Sedimentary.
Okay, yeah, that's one of the 3 broad classifications of rock. Yeah.
Igneous.
Yeah. What's the next one?
Unigneous.
No. It's metamorphic.
Metamorphic. Cool.
But good effort.
Thanks.
Good effort, you got 2. I don't know. What's going to be interesting for you?
This is the way you put on the spot. It's horrible.
Yeah, it is.
You started it.
I don't know what to
Sorry.
say.
I thought you'd be able to just like you were so on it last night. I thought you.
It's because we were watching it, they were coming up.
Nice fact about hurricanes, the size of hurricanes, the difference in magnitude that you get, is comparable to the size of dogs. So the smallest dog to the largest dog, that's the same amount of change for hurricanes. There you go, there's a fact.
Wow.
What, the range in sizes between hurricanes and dogs?
So you
is
can
that?
like
So
what's the smallest dog?
I don't know, I'm not very good at dogs.
Okay.
But there'll be small dogs,
Tiny dog.
and then there's big dogs.
There's big Irish wolfhound.
Yeah, so dogs, this is now a fact about dogs, exhibit the largest size range of all, any animal type.
Dogs do?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's an interesting fact about dogs.
Yeah, it's not about rocks.
That can be true.
Like spiders and tarantulas, the scale not?
There's dogs, I think.
Very interesting.
I don't know, I'm saying this with authority. I have no authority on it whatsoever.
Made up.
It could be completely
Don't question
wrong.
it. Finally, could Sharknado happen?
No.
Sure.
Oh, come
All
on.
disaster movies are absolutely horrific.
Oh yeah, they're disasters.
No way.
Yeah.
Cool. So there is the things we're into.
Yeah.
Our other passions, which I know wasn't Lord of the Rings related, and I hope you don't mind that. But you asked us to talk about it.
We especially didn't seem all too passionate about it.
Damien was nearly
I
in
didn't pick
tears
your
talking about
topics.
Jurassic Park.
They don't have passion. They're heartless.
Yeah.
It's not like I said your rocks, your computer games. No, I'll tell you what my passion is. Rocks. You like it? No.
Tell me a fact about rocks from there.
No, I
They're not
know. Boring.
interested.
So there we go. Is that our last topic?
Probably.
You don't want to look at your agenda?
Well, it's the last thing I'd written, yeah.
So yeah, thanks for that, and we hope you've enjoyed this super special
Bonus
extra.
Palantir.
Bonus Palantir with
Yeah.
Mr. Jamie Giblin. Have you enjoyed your time on the sofa?
Yeah, it's been good.
Do you want to stay?
Last night. Yeah, a little bit longer. Probably about 10 hours or so.
Oh, you're in luck. So there we go, and I believe as of where are we? Friday. As of Sunday, normal GBHL service will be resumed.
Yes, yeah.
On the various programs.
Mhm.
So as ever, don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe.
Support your hobby.
And follow us on Twitter.
And happy strategy battle gaming.
Help! Jamie! Jamie? Jamie? Help? Somebody? Anybody? Help! Somebody? Oh. Am I burn? Oh, thank God. No.